Now, if you're a HVAC or a plumbing business owner with 20 or 30 technicians, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how in under 1 hour, you can automate your entire dispatching process based on skills, certification, service area, revenue optimization, route optimization, etc. using FieldCamp's AI dispatching automation. So let's assume that currently most HVAC or plumbing businesses fall into two buckets. The first one is when job comes in, you classify if it's urgent or non-urgent. So if it's non-urgent, it's a maintenance job, for example, that you need to schedule on calendar. If it's an installation job, etc. All those kind of jobs require actual planning. And for example, it can be an installation job which you want to schedule 2 days, 3 days out ultimately. And what you do is this would qualify under a bucket. Now let's assume this coffee mug is a bucket. You will put all your jobs into this, which we call queue. And then ultimately, as the time frame keeps progressing, you are going to keep pushing the queue out. The second one is dispatching immediately. I'm a plumbing company. A customer just called me and said, hey, my toilet has broken down. Can you send someone ASAP? Now, based on the skills and etc. certifications, I need to send someone from my team. And that is what dispatch immediately feature is for. Now, to set up this automation or the AI dispatcher, there's a few things you need to do. First one, I've classified them as process and constraint. So the constraint has three important things. One is skills. So you are going to set up all the skills that are there in your organization based on the levels. So level 3 can be a EPS certified, level 3 can be HVAC install, etc. And level 3 technicians can do level 2 and level 1 jobs. So you can specify all these criterias. And then of course you will add the same thing for plumbing and then any other generic skills like installation skills if you want. Once you add that, the second thing is various types of job, which we call job types. Job types can be maintenance, it can be AC installation, it can be AC repair, etc. And how the job types work is basically for each job type, you can say these skills are needed to do an installation job. Then these equipment is needed and then these team members can do it. So if you configure the job types properly, then that reduces your intake process by, let's say, approximately 60 to 80% because the only thing you have to intake is the customer information at that point. And then the third one is service areas. So for example, if I zoom in a bit, service areas, what they mean is what are the zones where your team services and who services them. So for example, in Chatsport, I have people like 5 technicians from my team who go there Monday to Thursday. In Maryland's, I have like a Friday slots, and Friday is where 2 of my team members go. So you can create these zones ultimately. So dispatch process works based on your service zones. This is great for larger enterprises who want to control their dispatch process. If it's a corporate HVAC dispatch, for example, in the state of New Jersey, then you can have like various franchise zones and dispatch by that. And then once you do that, the last one is process. So the process, what it means is how does your dispatcher think ultimately? So of course the immediate and queue mode is there, but when you dispatch, the thought process is something like, my technicians, are they going to go back to their home after their last job? Or are they going to come back to headquarters? Because if they are coming to headquarters, that means I need to get them finished by like 5. So if their shift ends at 6, 1 hour at headquarters for time sheets and everything is enough time. Then what's the maximum travel time? And then the third one is overtime. Do you allow overtime at your company? If yes, what's the overtime multiplier? So anything above the standard work hours is 1.5 times the wage rate ultimately. But once all of this is set up, what you are going to see is a nice efficient process which automates 90% of your flow. So before going into this diagram, let's show you the AI dispatching tool. Now, this is FieldCamp's AI dispatcher. As I said, you can go to dispatcher.fieldcamp.ai and sign up and try it out. We are not gated. You don't need to come to demo with us. If you can just, watch this and set it up yourself, you can justify the ROI for yourself itself. Now, if I go back to the settings, in the settings, there's a few things which I said. The first one is AI Dispatcher tab, where you will set up your process. So the process which I just showed you, allowing overtime, adding multiplier, what's the maximum capacity of jobs that your techs are going to do. And then in case you want any revenue optimization, for example, then how should the revenue versus volume be balanced? We are going to make another video on this specifically, but on this one, the goal is to make it ultra simple for you to just get up to 80 to 90% automation. Once you add those, the third thing is jobs and dispatch. Over here, you are going to add all the job types. Basically, for each and every job type, you can say what team members can go, what skills are required, and then what equipment is required to do this kind of an installation job, for example. So for installation job, you might need a ladder, or you might need, for example, something to lift the equipment, then team members, skills, etc. You can do those qualification. Skills, as I said, you can add like various level of skills, and when you add them, you can add the skill hierarchy as well, which is optional, but you can say that in this category, this is the level of skill which is required. So NATI professional can be like level 3. And then our equipment is also something I just talked about. But once you add those, the second thing, now the important part of the planning process, is where does that data come from? So if you have work orders, jobs, etc., you can either import them as a CSV if you want, or you can, we have connectors basically, ServiceTitan, ServiceTitan, etc. So what you can do is you can go to settings and bring the data in from your existing systems. So you can go to connectors and you can say Jobber, ServiceTitan, House Call Pro, Google Calendar, Dynamics, Salesforce, FieldAge, QuickBooks. We integrate with these, and if you reach out to us, we also do custom integrations just for your use case, because we are adding more and more integrations each and every day. If you reach out to us, if you want to prioritize something, then that is something we want to talk about. Once you integrate that, Jobber, for example, it's a two-way sync with Jobber. So we bring the jobs from Jobber and send it back to Jobber once they are planned ultimately. But in the planning process, think of this. Now there is a queue mode basically. Queue mode means something is in the queue. The AI dispatch mode is basically, that means that AI has gave you a suggestion. It's up to you to accept or reject. And the third one is confirm ultimately. Now the middle one, AI dispatch, we can call it pinned as well. Pinned is just like a placeholder basically. So AI is going to placehold that. If some urgent job comes in, then it's going to move it around ultimately. But rest, it's queue, placeholder, confirmed. Now, let's say it's in the queue. You have all these jobs which needs to be dispatched. They can be one-off recurring jobs. So by the way, we support AI dispatcher for recurring jobs as well. Unlike ServiceTitan. So if you have maintenance plans, basically, you can just plan it out and push them on the calendar as the time comes. And now, once you have added the queue, basically, you can import the jobs that you want to dispatch. So let's say today you decide I want to automate my dispatching process. You can just come in here, put in all your jobs that you want to plan next week, and then add them to the queue. Now, if you want emergency dispatch, for example, or ad hoc job comes in and says, hey, I want my plumbing repair ASAP. Then what you're going to do is you're going to select immediate, and then you're going to add the address of the customer and select the job type. So if you select the job type, then skills and everything will be automatically added. And if there's any preferred technicians for the customer, you can add the preferred technician as well. And then you can say that I want this job done anywhere from 28 to like 30, for example, between 8 to 5 p.m. And all of this is done. You are just going to create and dispatch the job. Of course, we have to add the address. We didn't add the address. That's why it's not working. But once you add the address, it's just going to go and it's going to go on the AI dispatch tab. AI dispatch tab is where is the middle ground, where jobs are coming and it's suggesting you, for example, for job 15, it's telling you that, hey, this job was reshuffled basically because an emergency job came in. And over here, the time that was assigned was with Susan at April 27th from 10 to 11, 1 hour. And I can just accept the suggestion or reject it. If you don't do anything, then it is a placeholder, as I said. And then if some urgent job comes in, it's going to try to put it around on the calendar. Once you go to the schedule, you will see all the jobs that are there, placeholders and everything. A better view to look at is the timeline view. So in the timeline, you can see the technician schedule basically. If you want to see as a resource or for example, something like hourly or a schedule, then you can do something like this as well, where you choose the date and time and see what jobs are planned. You can accept the suggestion or you can reject the suggestion by going into the AI tab and accepting or rejecting it. If you want to see the route basically, or what the route looks like, then I'm just going to go to map, and in the map I can select weekly view, for example, just to show you guys. And then over here it's going to show you route, which is a line. But if I want actual travel route, then I can click on route and it's going to show me what schedule is planned, for example today for this one technician, and what does the route look like ultimately. And then I can either accept it or reject it, as I said. And once this part is done, now you may ask that, hey Gio, if every new job that comes in, for example, what's the process like? So the process is two things. Now the queue is mainly for a bucket of jobs which you want to bulk dispatch. So 100 jobs that you want to plan for upcoming week, you press one button and it automatically plans your entire calendar. That is what the queue is for. Or the queue is also like a to-do list where you know you have to do this job, you just not have assigned a date and time to it. But the second mode, which is immediate mode, is what you are going to do. So immediate mode is for more ad hoc planning. You want a suggestion right now for your plumbing or HVAC repair. That is what you are going to do. And of course, we have something like, for example, the second question which you might ask is, how long do we leave the placeholder for? So if we not accept it or reject it, like today, for example, this is today's out, I have not accepted or rejected it, then what does happen or what happens? So what you can do is, using dispatch AI agents, which I'm going to cover in another video, you can set some rules like automatically accept the job if it's within the 2-hour window, for example. So the AI is not going to move the job if it's within the 2-hour window. So for example, today the job was scheduled at 10 a.m. It's already 11. So now anytime after 8 in the morning, the first job at the city hospital is not going to be moved around. So you can set those rules using dispatch agents. And what that means is basically anything between that 8 to 10 window is accepted. So it's auto accepted. But once you do all this stuff, your entire dispatch process is automated. Where a job request comes in, you capture the details, basic client details, because job types automatically put skills, service area, tech capacity, etc. So you don't need to worry about that. Your dispatcher doesn't need to think, oh, who is the right person? When will they go? How will they go, etc. And then once all of that is done, you just choose the emergency by going into the jobs tab and choosing, for example, what's the emergency priority, low, medium, high, urgent. Once all of that is done, you either queue it into the dispatch and then bulk dispatch it. That optimizes the route and then plans skills, zones, etc. Or you immediately dispatch it. And then the reshuffle tag comes where if anything urgent is not on the calendar, it's going to put that later and replace it with the more urgent job. But once all of it is confirmed, it pushes back to the system that you're using. If you are using a jobber or service trade, etc. Or if you're just using our mobile app, then that means the technicians just go, complete the job, and the status is automatically updated. Now, the good thing if you use our mobile app using FieldCamp is we do machine learning on top of the jobs, for example. So if you, over here, you said that this job type of installation took 3 hours, or you had planned 3 hours, but actually the technician took 3.5 hours. That means on the average, if technician is taking 30 minutes more, so the next time AI will assign, they will keep the 30-minute buffer. The AI will keep 30 minutes buffer. So you don't have to worry about that. But basically, this is how you can go at dispatcher.fieldcamp.ai, create an account, set up skills and all the constraints and stuff, and plan your first full week by just importing the job and clicking bulk assign. And once you do that, your dispatching is 90% automated for your HVAC and plumbing company. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thank you.